on a day. Of course, we know Manchester City are a fantastic side. They're probably the best side in world football at the moment. So need a lot to align. We need to be bang on our game. But just trying to have a real clear understanding of what we are and what we want it to look like, and now we have our way in the game, and see what we can get.
How exactly do you go about stopping Manchester City or their stars there?
Yeah, I mean, but you watch games that they've played recently, and teams have tried all sorts of different ways. Last season, we sort of went man for man against them in the home game, and you have some relative success in that. But then they're capable of scoring from all of those moments as well. So you open up different issues when you can be aggressive. So trying to find a good balance around. As usual, really, with us trying to be aggressive when we're ready to be, from a position that we feel comfortable in, and then trying to have some good spells with the ball if we can, because obviously they're very good. So when we get the ball back, we either need to be looking like a threat on the counter, or we need to be able to secure it for a while.
And Matheus Nunes returns to Wanderers for the first time. What do you make of how he's got on so far at City, and what do you think he can really go on to achieve?
Yeah, he's a talented player, isn't he? I think you move for that amount of money to the best side in the world. It shows what quality you have. We knew that already from the couple of weeks that I spent with him. Incredibly talented boy. So haven't done too much thinking about how we'll do at Manchester City over the next 3 years. It's not really for me, but he looks like he's played a decent part in their recent games. The home win against Nottingham Forest. I expect him to play, and like with all the rest of their fantastic players, we have a plan in place where we look to make sure we have our say in it as well.
Do you think he'll get a good reception from the Wolves?
No idea. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think you get mixed, don't you? So normally when people leave like that, I would suggest they don't. But yeah, we'll see.
And just finally from me then, a bit of contract news. I understand, Gary. Is that right?
Yeah. So Jose Sarr, new long-term contract, which is fantastic for us. He's made some big saves for us already this season. Really good around the place, good in the dressing room, good guy. So yeah, really pleased that we could manage to get that one done, and we secured the services of a really good goalkeeper for the next 4 years. All right.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good. You've challenged Fabio Silva to work his way back into the first team. What do you want to see from him? What's he got to do?
I don't like to single people out too much. I was asked directly about Fabio, and it goes for everybody that's not in the team, really. You're in the team and you're working your socks off to stay in it, or you're not in the team and you're disappointed, and the manager knows you're disappointed, but you need to work and you need to show that you're ready. So still, obviously, young boy. I think he's 20, 21 now. Hasn't played loads of Premier League games, so he's still finding his way, and that shouldn't be expecting too much from players that are sort of Fabio's age and haven't played too much around the Premier League. So he started 2 or 3 games for us already this season, got himself in some good positions to score goals, and they haven't quite gone his way. But just the way we work every day, really, around a real focus to improve and get better and make sure he's constantly challenging for the starting places.
You're pretty much thrown into this at the start of the season. You've had 6 games now. What parts of the job have you seen that you'd like to highlight that are good, and what other things need to change, do you think, after 6 games?
No, it's a fantastic job. I'm enjoying every moment of it. I love it. I love what I do. Love working for such a fantastic club. The 6 games that we've had are tough starting fixtures. I think, maybe only Bournemouth have had tougher fixtures than we have for the first 6. We've showed some good spells in most of them. Obviously, Luton was disappointing. I think the way that the game started, and we sort of weathered a bit of a storm and then lost a man to a sending off. So we didn't really get to show that we were going to stamp any authority from that moment, which I feel we would have. But then some real good resilience to get out of there with something. And 2 crazy refereeing decisions away from being on 7 points right now. So from my point of view, loads of work to do. I understand that my responsibility to get the best out of this group, which I will. But 6 games, and some things have gone against us. They've been a tough 6 games, and we've had some good spells. So trying to progress it from there.
How do you change in training, like in intensity, conditioning, from playing Luton last week to now playing Manchester City? What are the differences?
Yeah, it is a slightly different training week. Not really like load-wise and intensity, but just what you're preparing for. Obviously, Luton very direct. Knew they'd try and put the ball on top of us a lot. Knew they'd try and test the guys at the back early, especially at their place. Manchester City will work you much more sort of mentally and tactically. They'll keep testing you out, keep probing, keep looking for any cracks. So a different test for sure, but one that the boys are looking forward to. You know, we've had a real good couple of days in preparation for it. Lads are in a good spot, looking forward to the game and go and give a good account of ourselves. Thank you.
Hello, Gary.
Hi.
Is the issue then not so much that the team can't hit good standards, because you said they're having quite a lot of games, it's hitting them consistently that's the issue?
We need to improve lots of little bits, and there's been improvement, and there's been areas that still need improvement, as will always be the case, and we'll get it there. We'll get it there. I mean, the lads are fully committed to absolutely everything we ask, and I think you saw, if we go back to the Luton game, it was a disappointing 25 minutes, really disappointing 25 minutes where we didn't manage to get a foothold, but they weathered a storm at a tough place to go. Luton didn't score. And then just when we start to get some control, we lose a man. But then when they're asked to go with 10 men at Luton, get their noses in front and work their socks off. So they're a group that are fully committed to what we ask. And we're going to keep going, and we're going to keep improving them. Like, no doubt. I have no doubts in the group whatsoever. Really clear around, I can maximise what we have here.
Do they have people who can grasp the nettle on the field sometimes? So with Luton last week, you obviously gave them a rattle at half time and they responded, which is terrific. On the field, you need people who are going to do that. So, and we know that this group lost a number of senior personalities at the end of last season.
Yeah, I think there's leaders within the group, definitely, that some that are vocal, some that lead by example. It's similar everywhere now. The sort of the shouting and the screaming has died down a lot from when I played, and it's a slightly different feel around society in general, not only football, but. So that it's slightly different, but there's leadership in there. You saw today in training, there's a real focus around the leaders in the group, making sure the rest are ready for what's coming tomorrow. And you see that on the football pitch as well. Of course, sometimes when you don't have enough of them on there, things can start to get away from you, and you feel like you need to get them in the dressing room to help them. But when we've got our key ones on there and there's enough of them on there, really confident that we can get the boys to a real good sort of understanding of situations where they can manage things themselves.
But it doesn't have to be shouters and screamers these days, does it? I mean, as you say, things have changed a bit in that regard. But you're not necessarily looking for people who are going to be literally grabbing.
No, that's why improving their understanding of each situation and where we are, so that they can manage it without needing me to help them manage it, is where we try and get it to, and they're getting far better at it. Lads are understanding, obviously them getting used to me getting used to them, but and then obviously the experience we lose, it's a very different group to what it was. You mentioned Matheus, Neves, Nunes, Jimenez, Diego Costa, Traore, all lads that know their way around the Premier League, have been around it a long time, experienced players. This is a very different group to that. It's João Gomez, fantastic talent, love him to bits. Young, played 5 or 6 Premier League games from the start, getting used to it. Fabio Silva, young, getting used to it. So trying to move all these lads along, they have fantastic ability. My job to make sure we get the most out of every single one of them, bring the whole thing together, which I'm still 100% confident that we will. Okay.
Do you have any questions at all, or no? Okay, in that case, let's turn the cameras off then, please, and move it to the written journalists.